Hello everybody, Toronto here, and today we've got ourselves another dev blog, this time covering two things. The first thing is a new map, and the second is the introduction of fortification mechanics for naval battles. So we'll look at the new map first, and it is Franz Josef Land. As you can see from the map, it is very far north. This is the furthest north map we've got in the game so far as I can tell. And basically, this was officially discovered by an Austro-Hungarian expedition, and they named it after the Emperor of Austria-Hungary, who was Franz Josef I at the time. In the 1920s, the Soviet Union seems to have quickly claimed dominion over it, though the Germans actually interestingly set up a weather station there during the war, and this wasn't discovered during the war, it wasn't discovered until, I think, in the last decade or so. They ended up being evacuated towards the end of the war because they all got ill from eating polar bear meat or catching various diseases. So yeah, just a quick rundown of the notable bits of history about the Franz Josef Islands. However, that is not the most important bit of news, because we're also told that fortification mechanics are being introduced. And you can see here we've got two turrets in this picture. The turret on the left looks like the Gneisenau turret, the one with the triple 280mm guns. I'm not sure what the ones on the right and left of it, they look to be smaller guns, but I'm not entirely sure which ship they're from. And we're told that in dominance mode, there will be fortifications to act as fire support. Now, I don't know if dominance is the same as the domination game mode that we have, because of course domination is the game mode where you've got 3 locations and you've got to capture them to start running down the tickets for the enemy team. So I don't know if dominance is the same game mode. I assume it is the same game mode. And basically, their stated goal is to make naval battles more varied and dynamic. And of course, they are asking for feedback because obviously this is a new thing they're doing and they want to see how people feel about it. I believe something very similar was tried in ground battles, at least when they first started. I think the original Kursk map did have AI anti-tank guns, though I'm not sure if they could actually physically hit you. I always thought they were more for set dressing. And obviously, they've never really repeated that experiment since. I think it could be a somewhat welcome change because I do like naval battles, but unless you're in the thick of the fighting, you can have periods of not much happening. Like, say everyone's fighting for C on the right side of the map and you decide to go and cap A. If no one else has gone for A and you haven't got a good shot on any enemies, you're just basically sailing for the next 5-10 minutes. Until you get to the cap point, and then you've got to sail for another 5-10 minutes to get into a battle, or just hope somebody attacks you. So having some fortifications to fight against could be something to mitigate that. Of course, it's going to depend how effective the fortifications are. If they're going to be like the AI ones in Kursk, where they basically can't hit you, that's just going to be, again, a bit boring, just a bit of set dressing that doesn't really do anything, maybe gives you a few points. Of course, you don't want them to be like the AA over airfields, where, of course, they can be very brutal and destroy enemies before they even get anywhere near. Hopefully, they've found a bit of a middle point where they can pose a threat, but for any skilled players or anyone who's just paying attention, they're not really much of an issue to deal with. Then, of course, there's the questions of rewards for destroying these. Naval already gives a lot of Silver Lions, and of course, there is the whole botting problem, people using premium naval ships and getting ridiculous awards. So hopefully they've found a way to balance the rewards for destroying these in a way that doesn't make it ridiculously easy for bots to just grind their way through the tech tree extremely quickly. But yeah, we'll have to see how this goes when introduced to the game. Anyway, just a quick video for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I've been Tyranno, and I'll see you next time.